Hey guys, welcome to Creative Icebreakers. We're the Iceberg Media team. My name's Andrea.
And I'm Matt.
And we're just a team of two today. We're doing like a little social distancing setup here, so that's why we're kind of like not really next to each other. We're like, keep your germs away. What? Jokes.
No germs in here.
No, but yes, so we're trying to adhere to the rules and trying to make sure that we're keeping each other safe. But anyway,
okay. We don't have COVID, so
no,
it's okay.
we don't. Only Matt jokes. Download the COVID safe apps. Anyways, this is season 2, episode 3. It's been a while, and I'm glad that we were able to do one of this again, back in the studio, not a home edition anymore. But maybe we'll do some home edition from time to time. We'll see. But now that the restrictions are lifting, are you kind of excited? How are you feeling about the restrictions lifting?
I'm feeling great. You know, like get to see friends, get to go out. I mean, I was walking quite a bit, like during the restrictions, but now I get to go out and see friends, get to go get more food. I think just that personal interaction was missing.
Yeah, I'm quite the same. I'm glad that I get to sort of see more people, and at the same time, like I'm loving the fact that we're starting to handle the camera once again to do a bit more shoots, and people are a lot more sort of
more comfortable, I'd say, like not so frightened.
Yeah, less frightened.
Yeah.
So that's good. I mean, WA is doing really well.
Yeah.
Hats off
Go
to our
WA.
premier, Mark McGowan. Shout out, what? Anyways, as with so this episode is revolves around the whole photography area at the moment. But for now, we're gonna start with the creative icebreakers. So, are you ready for this match? I prepared this like kind of last minute, and I'm kind of like pretty proud about it. So here's the question.
Okay.
If you were given the ability to time travel, what would you choose? Would you choose to time travel only to the past or only to the future? You can only choose one.
I would probably choose to the past.
Yeah? Why?
I feel that I know what's going to happen, and there's a lot of arguments because of like people's interpretation or people's accounts of history, and I want to get to the heart of it and be like, I want to prove you all wrong.
Yeah, I have a feeling that the reason why you're doing it is it because of like the whole because Matt's obviously, is it the faith thing? Is more faith?
Not just the faith. It's just like
all history. History in general.
In general, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. No, that's interesting. I turned this around because I'm like, I can't really hear you that much, just because of the noise cancellation. I mean, I can hear you, but anyways, if I was gonna answer that question, I would also say the past, just because like I kind of don't like the idea of knowing what the future holds. Yeah. I feel like if I know, for example, at this point in time, this is what I'm gonna do, or this is what's gonna happen, I'm not gonna completely enjoy the present.
Yeah. What happens if you choose to go like 1,000 years ahead and like there's nothing?
Yeah, you're kind of like
you're just like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna die.
But then again, it's kind of like the same, right? So for example, if we can time travel to the past, we're thinking, okay, well, this happened before, or this has happened like in the past. I kind of want to change it. I'm gonna go back to past, and then we'll change it. And then hopefully in the future, the present will be a bit different, something that you're gonna be more happy with. Versus like if you head to the future and you find out, for example, I don't know, nothing let's just say it's 2018 and we travel to the future 2020 and pandemic came out. And
and you're like, well, I can't go out. Yes,
that's right. You're going to be like, oh shoot, like what's going to happen 2018? And you're going to be more sort of reactive with that. But then at the same time, you're going to try, I feel like you're going to start trying to find a way to change the future as well.
Yeah, true.
But I feel like you kind of have a bit more control if you're changing the past because you know what's happening in the present kind of thing.
Yeah, I think
we're going deep.
Like, pretty deep. But I don't know if you know, but at the moment, in theory, technically there is a way to time travel. There are ways of time travel. Well, as in, okay, time travel in a sense.
What?
Yeah, in theory. Okay, this is all theory.
Okay, I've never heard of this. This is like news
I'm not
to
a
me.
scientist. I don't claim to know this.
We're not experts.
I just watched a lot of National Geographic and Discovery Channel when I was a kid. And yeah, I enjoyed watching those kind of things. But
Can you explain to me how that theory can potentially like make sense?
Yeah, so I have a piece of paper. I can grab this maybe. Haha. 3M sponsor us. Just joking. So imagine that this is like time, right? So you are here.
Yep.
This is present. This is a future.
Yep.
Okay? Present, future. So if there's a machine or technology that's able to actually fold time. So have you heard of that term before? Like fold the fabric of time?
No.
Okay, well anyway, imagine that this is the fabric of time and you're able to fold it.
Yep.
And you're here and you wanting to go here.
Yep.
Okay, remember this is time. So imagine if you can fold it and you just hop from this piece of paper to this piece of paper and then it folds back down. So now you're here.
Now you're in the future. Past, future kind of thing.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Present, past kind of thing.
So the distance that you have to travel in time is from here to here. But when
So I travel to the future.
Yeah. So you travel in time, right?
Right.
So if you can fold it, the distance between here is much shorter. So instead of taking like, let's say 10 million light years, it might just take 1 light year, for example.
So it's kind of like...
Well, 1 year, sorry. A light year is distance, it's not time. A year is time.
Technically, you can say it's kind of like, let's say, travel, like with airplanes or
Transportation.
like transportation. Are you kind of like folding time because of that?
Sort of, but not really, because you are traveling a distance, right?
Right, and that's kind of, okay.
And you're not, well, what I think anyway, you're not actually folding the fabric of time. What you're doing is just going from point A to point B. But in the past, you know, we used to travel around by boats and that would take, you know, weeks or even months to get from one place to the other.
Right.
But now it can take us like hours, you know, from Perth to London is what, 17 hours? Yeah, 17 hours straight. And that would take a couple of months before on a ship. So it depends on the distance, but then also the speed that you're going.
Yeah.
Now, in terms of the theoretical physics behind it, I don't know, you know, in terms of transportation or time travel, sorry.
I was gonna say teleportation is, I felt like teleportation is a lot more sort of digestible in terms of like that's more, like there's some more potential to that happening versus time travel. I've never considered time travel to be even a possibility at this point for consideration.
Yeah, but teleportation is somewhat time travel. It depends how you look at it, because you are going from one place to another place at a very, very great speed.
That's kind of true.
Right.
So it's kind of like if
yeah.
teleportation has been invented or something like that, that like of human bodies, because like just being specific out there, teleportation of human bodies from point A to point B at a second of time or something like that, that's like...
That'll take a lot of energy. E equals MC squared.
But I heard like expert jokes. But I heard like my brother's saying like that could be you have to like atom displacement or something like that.
You kind of have to like destroy your body and then reconstruct your body.
I don't like to think of that for now.
I'm not a scientist. I don't claim to know it.
But what do you guys think? You know, first off, I'd like to hear what you think. If you were given the chance to time travel, which would you choose, to travel to the past or to the future? Yep. Also, what do you think about time travel? Do you think it's possibility? Do you think Matt's making sense? Just don't bash him. He's not saying he's an expert.
Yeah, I'm not an expert.
Give him some love for that. he's put his effort to explaining it.
My childhood.
That's right. Anyways, thanks for that. That was a good icebreaker session.
Few moments later.
Whoa! We just time traveled.
Wow. Don't mind us, guys. Just
Sorry.
put a bit of personality into this.
That was Matt's idea. Like, comment below if you think that's lame or jokes. That's
It's not
me.
lame, guys. You know it's
Like,
not lame.
if you think it's cool, just let us know. If you think it's lame, just don't say anything. You know, be nice. But yeah, so for those who are still watching and still like listening in to our podcast, we're the Iceberg Media team, and we're in the creative Icebreakers for the 3rd episode of the 2nd season. And today's episode title is called "To Flash or Not to Flash," with regards to wedding filmmaking. Oh, not filmmaking, wedding photography. There you
I'm
go.
just laughing because it's just funny.
To flash or not to flash? That is the question. So obviously our topic is pretty much photography centric. So out of the two of us, Matt here is the photographer. So Matt, what do you think about, what do you think? Should we use flash or should we stick with natural lighting
light.
or no flashes at all? I mean, I've worked with multiple photographers in the wedding industry, not just within our team but outside the team, and I've seen different styles. Other people would choose to completely not use flash only until probably the reception, where it's completely like there's no other choice. Whilst I've seen others who actually use flash from preparation up till reception, like non-stop, even sometimes in outside location shoots. What do you think about that?
Well, I'm gonna say the safe answer.
Yeah.
So the safe answer is depends on the situation,
Okay.
right?
It's like our previous episode was about filmmaking, whether to direct or not to direct.
Yeah.
I pretty much by the end of it, it's still like a safe answer. It depends.
Yeah. But if I had the choice and if I had the time and the equipment, I would say to use flash. Now, it's not flash that you generally see. It's not just like point and shoot, flash straight into their faces. It's not like that. It's generally more directional or off camera, like off camera and also directional. And the reason is because like it can really bring out shadows in the faces. Whereas like if you are using direct flash, on camera flash, that is directed straight at the flash without any diffuser, then you'll get very harsh shadows, but then you also get a very flat image as well.
Well, just to paint the picture in your head for those who are not like super familiar with photography, what he means by direct flash is if you see someone who's using a camera and then there's a separate flash,
Like an external flash.
Like an external flash connected, but then the actual flash is pointed towards the actual subject.
Yep.
That's what he calls direct flash. Well, what you mean by, what was that, like
Off-camera directional flash, yeah.
Yeah, so that one's a little bit different. That's like outside, controlling the flash, whilst it's not technically connected to the camera's body.
Yeah, so a rule of thumb, just to be safe, you have an off-camera flash that is about 45 degrees from a person. So like, imagine I'm here, okay? The flash is at 45 degrees. That will give me directional flash, and generally you'll get a nicer looking image.
Versus
now,
if
depends
it's
on the power,
straight onto the face.
Instead of like directionally, yeah.
The reason being is because if the light's straight onto the face, like there's so much shadows that's gonna come across here, like in the like, correct me if I'm wrong, like I'm just like trying to be an expert here, Jess. but you'll get shadows here, versus if it's around here, the shadows are going to be fixed around this area. So it shapes your face a lot better.
It's more flattering.
Yeah.
It's definitely more flattering. And to make it look even better, if you have a light source with a large surface area, you actually get a softer light, and what we call is more diffused.
Yep.
And you get a nicer looking flash, a nicer looking
shot.
light. Yeah.
Like,
you can get a nicer
light.
photo
Yep.
because the lighting is better. And what that does is the shadows aren't so harsh, and the light kind of wraps around a bit more.
Yep.
And you can't actually see exactly like the line where the shadow is. And it's just a much more flattering photo compared to a light source without a diffuser.
Yeah. Okay. Well, question: what would you say for other people who are saying, I like the other photographers will argue like they'd want to make it look as to make the shoot as pure as possible. This is photographers we're talking about, not clients yet. Actually, let's go with clients first, and then we'll go photographers, like some other photographers would think. But with clients, they would go, I want natural, candid feel of the shoot. Technically, what they think of that is completely no flash or anything. What can you say about that?
Yeah. So generally, one of the most common questions that we have from clients, not really questions, it's more of a comment, they say, or a request, let's say request. They will say, oh, I just want natural photos. I don't want any flash or anything like that.
Yep.
And I understand where they're coming from because, you know, when they've grown up not understanding how to use a flash, and you know, every photo that they've taken with a flash is just like bam, straight in the face, and it doesn't look really nice. Yeah, I wouldn't want to use flash either. You know, I wouldn't want people to take a photo of me like that.
Yeah.
However, what we do say is, yeah, we do, whenever we go on a shoot, yeah, we do give them like natural light shots, but also we sneak in some off-camera flash shots. And what they actually realize is they do like the off-camera flash shots more than the natural light shots.
It's like,
Yeah. But the reason is because, you know, there's nothing wrong with natural light. Natural light is naturally beautiful. You know, it's very difficult. It's not that easy to replicate natural light. You can do it, but it takes a bit of time and
also like to replicate natural light needs specific equipment, like good quality equipment as well. It's not just simply buy a light and like tint it to like warm yellow or something like that. It's not gonna look like that. But yeah, no, the amount of time
required
effort,
to like actually get
to
natural
make it
light.
look like it's day, it's completely hard. Actually, just to sneak in, I did observe like a soap opera shoot back in the Philippines, and they were shooting a daytime scene that they were shooting at night. That's when they were trying their very best to make it look like a bright. It's still indoors, but they're trying to make it look like it's like bright and early. And the amount of like time that they took for lighting it, and the kind of lighting that they've used to make it look like it's daytime, it's really expensive.
But yeah, so what I was saying before was it takes some sort of skill and understanding of light to use the natural light, but then complement it with the off-camera flash. You know what I mean? Like, I think it's taken me a lot of time, a lot of years actually, to actually understand that. I mean, I'm not perfect, but I think
None of us are.
but I think I have an idea of what looks good and what doesn't look good. And I think whenever you use off-camera flash to complement the natural light, you get a nicer photo.
A much better,
Yeah,
strong photo.
and you can actually create more emotion because you can create a more dramatic look. You can create a more cinematic look.
Effect,
You can create a whole different feel within the scene of that image. You know, you can just change a color of a light, for example. If you're using multiple off-camera flashes, you can actually light a scene in a different way. And I think that requires a next set of skills that, I mean, it's taken me a long time to actually like figure that out. But then also, it's not even just that, it's just the confidence or the, what do you call it, you know, just to try something different, it's taken me a lot of courage to actually like take
to
that
push
step
yourself
forward.
out of that comfort zone and stuff.
Yep.
Yes, I was gonna say it takes it's a whole different art of being able to let those two. To some people think that's opposite when it's really not, but to complement each other it takes a great deal of skill. Like I would even argue that there are people who are very good with natural light that are not so good with camera flash. Versus I would say like most people who use camera flash would actually be quite strong with the natural light, because I'm pretty sure that's where they started regardless anyways. So just I guess like a penny for people's thoughts, you know. There's that whole like skill level that people try to achieve, especially within our team as well, that they're like trying their best to sort of like experiment, do whatever they can to just achieve the kind of look that they want. But yeah, no, that I get that point of view of like being able to have that balance between the two aspects of lighting. It's an art form in itself.
Yeah. If you ever want to get into off-camera flash, I'll say just get yourself a flash, something that can trigger the flash, get yourself a softbox and a light stand. Generally, that's how you would start, and that's probably the easiest way to start. And don't be afraid, really.
Yeah, I reckon like to start off generally with the whole photography and the lighting, if you start knowing how to read the natural light and then push yourself and experiment on the off-camera flash or the camera flashes in general, you're going to create yourself a whole different, like a good well-rounded skill set that could benefit you if you're wanting to take on photography, I guess, or something like that. But for those who are not really interested in taking it as a career, but like just want an inside look, then at least hopefully this is a good sort of extra information for people. I have like a question in my head. I've completely like forgot it whilst I was like talking. But
one key thing I will say though is, like I said before, don't be afraid, but then experiment. You know, like if you've got time to experiment, look at other images and try to figure out how they created that photo. I think that's really important. And if you aren't getting paid for a job, you know, you can't go wrong. So
I was gonna also, then I've just realized what I was gonna also comment on, the fact that the skill that you guys are trying to sort of be excellent at when it comes to like lighting. There's also that skill level of being able to do it and being able to do it fast. Because with wedding photography, like it's a race against time, and being able to sort of set up light in a span of like a short amount of minutes, so that way you can make sure that you capture the moment. That's, for me, that's like quite mind-boggling at the same time, because we'll have corporate shoots wherein we will take, let's say, like 15-20 minutes, or like it depends like the kind of shoot that we do, but it will take time to just simply light things up for, let's say, a minute of shoot, or 5 minutes, or even 15 minutes of shoots or of footage, but we'll take majority of the whole like setup. Takes about 45 minutes to the whole setup, and let's say 15 minutes of like whilst with weddings sometimes you don't have that luxury, and being able to like quickly think as to which parts of the room is best to have the light on, and that's a whole skill level in itself, I reckon.
I was gonna say that, you know, I'm not bagging natural light shooters or natural light.
We're not.
Because there is, like I said, it really depends on the situation. I would say that if the couple were having a moment, you know, like if they're having like that time, I kind of like doing long shots, right? Because
so there's no point of lighting there.
Right? But I can still light it, don't get me wrong. Like I can put an off-camera flash like near them, but the issue with that is, will it disturb the moment? You know,
right?
The couples are in a moment.
Have a balance of
an intimate moment when they are spending their time together, they're not worrying about anything around them. That's when I think natural light will come into play.
Yeah.
You know, if you can be stealthy, if you can let things flow. Yeah, that's when I'll say like natural light would definitely trump off-camera flash.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I reckon like even reading natural light, like I said, like he said, we're not bagging on natural light shooters, but like the whole understanding the whole natural light, that in itself is a skill set. Not everybody gets where the light is, or how to read it, or which is best to sort of place oneself. Like there's a lot of times wherein I'm not trying to be like an expert or anything, but I do know a bit of a thing or two about photography. But like even with like photography in like phones or something like that, if you just know where the light's coming and just simply like angle the camera in a way where the light will be best sort of suited aesthetically into that angle, that could generally make a whole difference compared to if you just simply point and shoot. So yeah, for those who are trying to just start up, even with their iPhones or smartphones or something like that, being able to read natural light, it's a really good skill set.
Yeah, reading the light is a very special skill because it will either make or break a photo.
That's right.
Because photos are all about the light.
Yes.
And yeah, like during this whole lockdown, you know, there's been a lot of online meetings and stuff like that. If you haven't done it before, you should try this, okay?
Yep.
Assuming everyone who are on the online world, and having meetings and stuff like that, they'll have a webcam, you know, they'll use a webcam. That's generally what happens. If you place a light source behind you facing the camera,
webcam, the camera,
you'll see that your face becomes very, very dark and you don't see yourself. That's
what you call against the light.
Yeah.
A lot of people use that term.
Yeah, because your laptop has an auto setting, you know, it'll expose your image automatically.
Yeah.
It will expose for the light at the back, right?
Yes.
However, if you put a light source towards the front, and again,
like more
about
45
degrees angle either way.
Best.
I know some people have a side that they prefer, some people don't. It's up to you guys. Generally, you'll get a more flattering light than one at behind or one directly in front.
That's right.
Well.
I mean, if you want to like top up the notch a little bit for it, I mean, if you have those little lamps that don't necessarily emit a lot of like light, you can put that at the back so it gives a little bit more of an aesthetic look. So there's like light behind you, it could potentially maybe give you some sort of like highlights at the back, maybe not, but regardless, it's going to light up the background, your background, not necessarily yourself. But then your main light, which is when you say main light, it's mainly like
where you get most of your light source.
The light, you'd want it 45 degrees in a 40 angle away from you, so that way you get that. So that's a little trick.
You also want your main light source to be stronger than your back light as well.
So that way you can make sure that the camera, which is your webcam most of the time, is going to automatically what do you call this? Like expose your photo or your shot to your advantage, to your face.
The cool thing is like I have a Philips Hue light on my lamp. I know that's like such a waste of money, but
so he will change the color. Color.
Yes, I've got the ones that you can change color. But the thing that I use it for is more change the brightness of the light. So I can actually change the brightness of my light on my computer or my phone. And during meetings, like I'll be like, oh, my light's not on, and I'll just turn it on, and everyone's like, whoa, you just got brighter. And then I can just adjust it based on the background. So again, you know, like it's very similar to natural light and flash, you know, like if you have a natural light somewhere, you are always able to complement it with a flash to create
the look that you want then. Yes, Cool. Well, that's a great chat. I've learned a lot. But especially with that time travel thing, my gosh.
Yeah.
But let us know what you guys think. Feel free to comment below if you think that information was helpful. We'd love to know what you guys think and also what you think about the topic. And if you feel like there's other topics that you'd want us to discuss, we'd look forward to be able to discuss them as well. But for now, we're going to say goodbye. This is the Iceberg Media team and this is the Creative Icebreakers. Thanks again for tuning in. This is Andrea and this is Matt. Bye guys. See you.
See ya. Bye.
Thanks for tuning in, guys. This is again Iceberg Media, Matt and Andrea. We're just wanting to let you know that if you like those videos that we've been doing for the Creative Icebreakers and also the other videos that we've been doing for our YouTube channel, please like, subscribe our social media. It's Iceberg Media AU, both for Facebook and Instagram, and like obviously Iceberg Media here in YouTube. So please click that bell button. We'd like to be able to share more, and we look forward to seeing you guys next time. Bye guys.
Peace.
See you. Stay safe.